All right, today we're going to tackle a problem that so many smart people, maybe even you, run into: why you freeze up when you have to speak English. But more importantly, we're going to give you a super simple tool to stop it from happening.
Has this ever happened to you? I mean, you know you understand English, right? You're totally following the conversation, you've got ideas buzzing in your head, but then the moment someone turns to you and says, "So, what do you think?" Poof, your mind just goes completely blank.
So, why does this happen? It's so frustrating, right? And trust me, it is incredibly common. Let me tell you a story that I bet is going to sound pretty familiar. Okay, so I want to tell you about one of my students. We'll call her Anna. Now, Anna is brilliant. I mean, top of her class, fantastic grammar, amazing vocabulary. But one day, she's in this big team meeting, and her manager turns to her and asks a really simple question. Anna, can you share your idea? And in that moment, that critical moment, she said, absolutely nothing. Now, here's the crazy part. It's not like she didn't know what to say. She knew exactly what she wanted to say. The problem wasn't her knowledge. It was this internal search for the perfect sentence. She was scrambling in her head trying to get every word just right. But you know what happens, right? By the time she thought she had it, the conversation had already moved on. The moment was just gone. You see, that feeling of being totally frozen? That's not some personal failure. It's not about you. It's actually a biological thing. There's a real scientific reason your brain seems to hit the off switch right when you need it the most. And it all comes down to this idea from psychology called cognitive load theory. Basically, think of your brain like a computer with a limited amount of RAM, or working memory. The core idea is simple. The more things you try to make your brain do at the exact same time, the worse it gets at doing all of them.
So let's go back to that high pressure meeting. Think about what's actually happening in your head. You think your brain is just trying to speak? No way. It's trying to translate from your native language, check for grammar mistakes, find that perfect vocabulary word, and on top of all that, it's trying to manage the stress of everyone looking at you. It's trying to do like 4 or 5 jobs at once. It's no wonder it just shuts down.
So here is the most important thing I want you to get from this. The problem is not your English. It's not that you're not smart enough or you didn't prepare enough. The problem is cognitive overload, plain and simple. You're asking your brain to do way too much at once, and so it freezes. It's a system crash. And this means we have to completely change how we think about fluency. Most of us think that being fluent just means knowing more English words, more grammar rules, but the real truth, the thing that's actually going to help you, is this. Fluency is about performing under pressure. It's a skill of execution, not just a library of knowledge. Okay, so if that's the problem, how do we fix it? How do we actually reduce that cognitive load so we can perform when it counts? Well, we're going to use a really simple but incredibly powerful tool. I call it the 3-second pause. Here's exactly how it works. It's just 3 little steps. So when someone asks you a question, before you even think about saying a word, you're going to do this. Step 1, inhale for 1 second. Step 2, hold it for 1 second. And step 3, you speak. So why on earth does this work? It sounds too simple, right? Well, that short, intentional pause does something kind of magical. It acts like a circuit breaker. It interrupts that panic response in your brain, it breaks that cycle of stress and overload, and it gives your brain's working memory just enough time to reboot and get back in control. Look, knowing the theory is one thing, but building the skill? That takes practice. So, you know what? Let's train this together. Right here, right now. I'm going to say a sentence, and I want you to do the 3-second pause first, so inhale, hold, and then I want you to repeat the sentence out loud after me. You ready? Let's do this. Okay, first one. Do the pause with me. Inhale, hold, and now repeat after me. I think we should start with the main issue. Awesome. You're doing great. Let's go again. This time, really try to feel that little bit of calm you create before you speak. Ready? Pause, inhale, hold, and now say it. In my opinion, this is the better option. All right, one last time. Let's really lock it in and build that muscle memory. Do the pause, inhale, hold, and now. Let me explain that clearly. Do you feel that? That little pause? That's your space. That's the space you give yourself to think. Okay, so the 3-second pause, that's your tool. That's the tactic. But for this to really, really work, we have to pair it with a new strategy, a total mindset shift. This is about changing the rulebook inside your head about when it's okay to speak up. So many of us, right, we just stay quiet because we are terrified of making a grammar mistake. We're convinced that everyone is hanging on our every word, just waiting to judge us. But I have to tell you something really important, and this is based on a ton of research in social psychology. That's just not what people are actually paying attention to.
What people really notice isn't your perfect grammar. It's your participation. The people in that meeting, your coworkers, your friends, they really only notice one of two things. Did you speak up and contribute, or did you stay silent? That tiny grammar mistake you're obsessing over, honestly, they probably won't even notice it. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to adopt a new personal rule starting right now today. And that new rule is speak before you feel ready. Seriously, stop waiting for the perfect sentence to pop into your head. Just use your 3-second pause and start talking.
You know, we have this whole idea about confidence completely backwards. We think that first we need to feel confident, and then we'll be able to speak. So we wait and we wait, hoping that one day we'll just wake up with this magical feeling of confidence. But it just doesn't work like that, does it? The real truth is, the action has to come first. Speaking comes first. Speaking when you're nervous, speaking with sentences that aren't perfect, that is what actually builds confidence. Every single time you speak up before you feel ready, you are literally teaching your brain that you can handle it. So the question isn't, how do I get confident? The real question is, how can I start speaking now? And that choice, that's all yours.